So here we are in our anti-grav prototype room that we made last episode. Allows you to float up and down or just remain hovering. And our goal today is to build this place out and make it look and feel more spacey. The goal is really I want it to feel like you're in space. So last episode we ran out of Sculk. So I went and mined some more. And also some more. So hopefully we're not going to run out of any this time. I'll cram some into these shulker boxes that we have here. Haven't actually made a skulk farm. I just mined it because I have a huge deep dark biome. So took full advantage of that. And then just mined for a very, very, very long time. And as a quick world update, I added 2 more chests to our chest selectors. So this chest and this one, which is gray and darker gray. You can see the armor stands here. And I added more total chests to the bulk storage. So now we have a bunch of empty chests that we'll be able to use in the future. It takes so long to add these though because of this. These command blocks that you can see right there, that is one line. So you can see all the space for the ones we haven't added yet. But anyway, I added 2, so slowly improving the chest selector system. But yeah, let's get to building. So let's start with the big picture. As you can see, it's not taking up very much of the sky, which is actually kind of good because we want it to feel big and open up there, but when we're down here, we don't want to look at some weird, I don't know, box in the sky. So we may need a way to hide it, kind of like how I hid the iron farm as like a giant cloud, which is, I don't know how well that worked. I don't know. It's better looking at like a white cloud thing that kind of matches the clouds, even if it does look artificial with all the lights on it, than like looking at, some nasty island with like stone and dirt and everything. So we could do that. And by separating it from the ground, oh, actually, wait a second. This is a perfect example. Okay, so you see how the cloud's going in between it? It makes it feel less connected with the ground. So like when we go up to it, it's like we're going somewhere, but we're not really sure where. When the cloud goes away, then it's like, oh, we're going there, this place in the sky. So it doesn't really feel like you're going anywhere. You're not going to space. You're not in somewhere special. But when it's hidden by this cloud thing, it's like you kind of visually, you sort of forget what's there. So that ground air separation should help it feel like it's more in space than it was previously. We're going to need to continue to keep in mind like how it's going to look on the ground though. So we'll want to just have that in the back of our heads as we work on building this and expanding it. So how do we increase the feeling of outer space within the building? One idea I have for that is actually just as simple as basically just have like a really big area and make sure that we don't include walls. I think walls will really limit the feeling of outer space, which, if you think about it, makes sense. And then the other thing that might be really cool is to have lighting that is only around areas of interest. So for example, like the crafting table, we'd have lighting around it, like this is one solar system, right? And then maybe over at the command blocks, that's like another solar. That is a problem that we also need to fix. I do not remember what command is in this block. Okay, well, to finish my earlier thought, if we if we have the lighting around here, then this is like a separate solar system, and then we would just try to remove the lighting in between. And so then if you have enough space, it'll end up being like these really like dark spots in the middle, and then it's like, oh, you go from this solar system, and then you fly over to this solar system, and I think that will feel really cool. I had to load a backup to get the last command, but I moved the command blocks over to the elevator. So that way we're not going to accidentally be shifting and destroying things like we would in here. And then I'll just move this lever. There, and we may be slightly out of range. Whoops. Right at the edge of the range there. Let's just pick this block. There we go. Get those coordinates, and then we can execute from those locations. So it'll be like the command blocks are right where that crafting table is. Positioned. Put the coordinates in, run the command that was already there, and then we just copy and paste this for everything else. Easy. So first thing we're gonna need is more space, like a lot more. If we really wanted to have that open feeling and have like the solar system type setup, we're going to need more space that way and that way and that way. And we do actually have space above us. I think we only have a little bit to the side. If we look kind of where we line up, we're right over that right now. So we have, I don't know, 7 blocks. Maybe we could go that way. We have a lot we could go this way though. So that's going to be our main point of expansion. And let's see how far up we can go. Oh, there we go. Height limit is 319. So that's like 50% of the height in there. So that's pretty good. And I think if we go with the cloud idea, which is the one that I'm leaning towards because both of the air and ground separation, but also just because it would make this a lot easier. But for now, we'll just worry about the inside being a big open square. Whoa, now that looks cool. The ground has almost like disappeared from view. You know, maybe we should actually move the elevator up because if we're floating around, we don't really need it to enter at the bottom. We could enter it at the top, you know? Or the middle, maybe. The middle might be the best, which is kind of where we are right now. Well, we're more towards the top. This is a pretty cool view right here. I'll actually just mark it. Just do something like that. And we can move the elevator later. Oh! Good thing we have Elytra. I was wondering when that would happen. Look, this is a pretty good size though. There we go. Back to floating. Yeah, we went more than 25 blocks away, I guess. Whoa. Could you imagine if this was the whole of the space? Dude, we would need so many Sculk blocks. Like, this would be a pretty good size, right? Because things on the other side are far enough away that you have to, you know, you have to float a little ways to get there. So one thing that I'm hoping the Sculk blocks will do as we fill this area up is make the flat walls and everything actually kind of indistinguishable. Because like if you look right there, you can't really tell that it's a corner except for your reference points like here and here. But if you just look there, you can't necessarily tell it's a wall. So I'm hoping when we're inside a giant box, even though the walls will be flat, because of the texture and the sort of, I don't want to say confusing because it's not really confusing, but like indistinct pattern, I think it'll make the flat walls actually not be as obvious on the inside. On the outside, we'll have to do the cloud thing or whatever. But yeah, for the inside, I think it'll look pretty good actually. Dude, the floating items turned out really good. It's really cool how they like fling out a little ways, but then they stop after a while. It really is a cool effect. And because it's already randomized when the block is broken, because you know that item like pops out from whatever direction it wants to, then you get like, they don't all end up in the same place or in like a perfect line or anything. It's just all like they're floating out in space. And that's why we need a roof. Oh no, I did it again. So as you can see, we have a big square finished here. This is big enough for our primary purposes. We might expand in the future, although we would need a lot more Sculk probably. I'm starting to run out. I'm trying to fill up the walls here, and I don't honestly think I have enough to fill all 4 walls. We could probably get this like front wall and maybe like some of the lower edges or something, but yeah, we're running low. So even though the walls aren't totally in yet, you can start to get a sense of the scale of the room, just like how big it is and how big it's going to feel when we're in it. And so we'll be able to start putting like solar systems, our little mini solar systems in here. And we'll probably just have a few placeholders at first, is my guess. But just something to make it look spacey. So conveniently, we have some ochre frog lights, which will make excellent suns. Apparently they're all going to be yellow though. I don't know of any red lights that we have, so we'll just put a solar system right here. Look at with the items like floating around it. They're in stasis, so it doesn't quite look as cool as if we had them orbiting or something. That would be really hard to do. I don't even know how you would do that. Maybe a crafting table at like 1 orbit distance. And then we'll say have another thing. We won't just have like random blocks probably, but we'll have like a couple different items. So maybe different crafting stations or whatever. Then we can have them, in different positions around their orbit. That's kind of cool, but it's not quite as much of a solar system effect as I was hoping. The trick might be to just not let any of them be straight on, like even just offsetting it by 1 block. It's definitely a lot better with the offset. The other thing too is that if we have multiple, like if we have another one over here somewhere, if this is like a galaxy, then the solar systems are not going to all be on the same plane. So we can have them kind of be in different directions. So like we can make this one go up and down maybe. Something like that. And we could even have them going like diagonal and stuff too if we wanted. But yeah, if we had just kind of a few of those situated around, it might look really cool. I think it's going to look the coolest when it's like dark. Because I think the primary thing that's going to give it that solar system effect is actually the star's light, or what we're pretending is the star. So when it's all lit up like this, it kind of just looks like random blocks placed everywhere. But I think when it's totally closed in and dark, it's going to be like, ooh, solar system, solar system. Is that our last stacks of Sculk? Uh-oh. I think this is the last, 5 stacks of Sculk we own? One finished wall. Well, mostly finished. These pathways, I think we're going to just stick with the one up top and probably move that one. And I actually wanted to change the glass color anyway to be light blue or potentially dark blue. Something that blends in with the sky, which I'm guessing light blue does. Anyway, we'll look at that later. But yeah, so we have a finished wall. We only have 2.5 stacks of Sculk. So we'll see how far that gets us, and then we may need to re-strategize. I fell off and I'm out of fireworks. Oh, look at this interesting thing that happened in the water here, if I can land. So we got a big shadow, and the interesting thing about the shadow is it actually makes the lava in our volcano, our underwater volcano here. Here's the underwater volcano. But yeah, we can actually see the lava like better from the surface with the shadow over it, which is kind of interesting. Also, the shadow is quite a bit darker than I expected it to be, which is a little bit of a bummer. The coolest effect is definitely looking from above though, because then it covers more of the volcano and you just see the lava really clearly. So that's kind of a cool little side effect that happened. But I need some fireworks. Some duration 1. And double check the Sculk chest. Nope, there's nothing there. Oh boy. Yeah. Whoa. It takes 4 or 5 rockets to fly up here. The short range ones, the flight duration 1. This is pretty high up. All right. Well, I guess I could pull out the pimples that I've made, accidentally placing blocks in the wrong places, and finish that up. But yeah, we are out of Sculk. So I'm thinking we maybe should try a Sculk farm. We could have it be in the center. So you know how galaxies, they have black holes in the center. And that's like kind of how they keep everything rotating and all that. So we could have the black hole be the Sculk farm. And maybe, I don't know, cover it up with black concrete or something. And that might look really cool. Because then, like, if you look at it, you just see blackness, right? You can't see the light through it. You can't see like any of the planets. You just see blackness. So we could have it be totally covered up and it would look maybe really cool. I don't know. Problem is, I have no idea how to make a Sculk farm beyond you need blocks and you need to kill entities somehow. So, you know, actually, we could maybe leverage the whole idea that, like, it's super dark in here. So we could probably spawn mobs easily. Ooh, that's an idea. Because like a cobblestone generator or a stone generator or something along those lines will give us the blocks that we need. It's really just about the entities. Well, here's the last of the pimples. I don't even think we're gonna finish this part of the wall, although it's pretty close. So we have like one corner in here. And when that's dark, man, you're not even gonna be able to tell there's a corner there. That's cool. So before we create a black hole and suck the entire galaxy into nothingness, let's mess with the bridge out here. So I want to see which blue glass looks better. Oh wait, we're outside of the zone. We gotta do things normal now. I guess we could take the short way up. So what we'll do is we'll just put some light blue, some dark blue, and then just stare at them from the underside. And that way we can see which one matches better. Well, I think that answer is pretty obvious, at least to me. The sky blue is way better. Or wait, light blue. I'm thinking Rocket League colors. Well, that was easy enough. So now we just got to get enough light blue glass to make a pathway. And then we'll move the elevator up and... oh, probably the command blocks too. I hate moving command blocks. It is unpleasant. Because you got to copy the stuff inside and then make sure that you copy it correctly and make sure that you don't duplicate anything. Because if you duplicate anything, everything breaks and it's terrible. And yeah. I think eventually we're going to have like a tube. So maybe something like this, which would be pretty cool. But we don't really have the glass for that. And it's not really the focus of the episode. So, ow. Oh yeah, the lever's broken. Okay, so we got to move the command blocks. I'll do that real fast. Okay. Slap the lever on, and we should be back to normal now. Excellent. So, how do you make a Sculk farm? Really don't know, but we're going to try it out. Let's make a little platform here. So we'll just put some edges on here, some temporary edges while we test things. And I think what we'll have is we'll have some sort of generating platform, hence the stone generator, cobble generator, whatever we can get to work. Or not the cobble gen, because that doesn't get replaced by Sculk. And then this will be like a little spawning platform here. Creatures will spawn, we'll kill them, and we'll have a Sculk catalyst. Yep, here's a Sculk catalyst. And that should spread things nicely. So basically, it'll just replace whatever block we are generating. So the real question is, how do we generate the blocks? So I'm not 100% sure, but I think if you pour lava on top of water, you get stone. And stone is replaceable by Sculk. So what I'm not sure of actually is whether it has to be overflowing water or whether it can be still water. We got to be careful here. Oh. Okay, so we have a stone generator. Wait, so does it generate cobble if it goes onto the source block, or wait? Oh, that's just stone. So just lava on top of stone, or on top of water equals stone. Okay, so that's simple enough. So now we can use that knowledge to make a stone generator. And we're gonna need to like push the stone blocks out in some configuration. And that's going to be a problem because if there's a lot of pistons, it's going to take up too much room, which we don't want. So we want as simple of a setup as we can handle. So let's just make sure that this idea even works at all. So, oh boy, this is kind of dangerous. So there's a Sculk catalyst under there and some stone that can be changed, presumably. I'll be honest, I thought that they couldn't fight when they were in no gravity, but apparently the skeleton figured it out. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, even though, whoops, let me put some light in. Even though the Sculk can't generate into the clay, it'll still generate the veins, which is pretty cool. And you can see both of the stone blocks transformed here, so then we can pick it up with our silk touch pick. So it's really just about the configuration. Okay, I just quickly brainstormed this. It's pretty basic. There's like a bud switch, or an observer, I mean. I always call them bud switches. It'll detect when it changes into stone, it'll push it, and then it'll keep doing that until it detects a change in the block over here, and then it'll push all of them, and then the row opens up again. So all we really need to do to test it out is remove this block, watch it float into space, and really hope it works. Well, that's not working. Oh, because it updates when the piston pushes. It's not great. Now, I know there's a way to make smart pistons, but I don't know how. And because the internet is gone, I can't look it up. So, we have a bit of an issue. This technically works. I just put a torch under there to move this second bit, which is way easier. I would have put a torch under here, but there's an empty place where the water flows to, so that way it doesn't flow into the piston, or if I put a repeater here to get the signal, then it wouldn't flow into the repeater. So it's kind of working. Oh, don't break my redstone. I have no spaces. Phew. I'm almost sure that the smart repeater, or the smart piston, used a note block. So we'll see if I can figure this out. It makes sense if the note block was the trigger, and there was just a block of redstone here. Yeah, see, I can't figure out how to turn it off. That's the main problem. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got a new day. Internet is back, and I looked up smart pistons, and they all use torches, which is basically useless because there's a hole there, as you can recall. So I had to look up no torch smart piston designs, and I actually found one that's really good. I'll link it in the comments. I mean, the description. So it turns out that the solution is fairly simple, and it happens to be a single block. This works though. So we need a wall. So a wall will connect to a block, but it won't connect to a piston. So are you kind of getting where this is going? We just need, I think I picked up that observer, an observer, and some redstone dust, and I think we'll be good. Okay, new plan. There we go. So I think this should actually make the whole platform for it. Oh, it's, ah, yes. Oh, I'm so disappointed I didn't think of a wall. I've even made redstone stuff. The easiest and like simplest bubble elevator you can make is like you just get a wall and then it can update like everywhere. Okay, so we have a working solution now. So I made a giant ticker tape, or a piston tape, which is basically just where the pistons just keep pushing the block. So it's going to form this big giant square. And in fact, let's get it running. I used the wall thing at like each of the corners. So you can see it there, you can see it there, you can see it there. So it's going to make this big circle. Yeah, so you can see the circle starting to form. And so we'll just have this kind of running most of the time while we're in here. And we'll just be like, la 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 la, working, doing our thing. And then we got to make sure that it is dark. I seem to have forgotten to slab the entire area up. Oh, he can move around? Oh, here. Okay, so let's lure him in here. Yeah, so we'll get a guy in here. And I'll just put a torch temporarily. And we kill him in here. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. At the bare minimum, it gives us a renewable way of getting it back so we don't have to go really, really far away, because the deep dark biome that I have is really, really far away. So it helps quite a lot to have Sculk generation right here. And we're like really running out of time here, but basically we would just skin this with black concrete. And then that way, like, you know, if we're looking around the room, you can see like, oh, there's a solar system. Oh, there's a solar system. Just blackness, inky blackness. Just like if you're looking in the normal universe and you see a black hole, you just don't see anything. So I think that that would be a pretty cool effect. And we'll probably have like a little entrance on the side so that we can like sneak in here, see if there's anything that's spawned, and then, you know, get some more Sculk. If we put a repeater here at full delay, so yeah, it gets stuck. We break this block because we're, you know, getting Sculk blocks, and the whole system starts up again. Sweet. Okay. There we go. A working Sculk farm of questionable efficiency. Cool. Well, without a doubt, there's a lot more to do on this project. I think it's coming along quite nicely, though. We got a Sculk farm here, so we can actually get Sculk without going super far away. We have the working up and down. We have a working ceiling, or, well, just an existing ceiling, which, as you saw from the damage to the skeleton, you know, sometimes you just get launched up into the sky. Pretty much if you just take damage from some source, yeah, you get launched up. So having a ceiling is a really big deal. Having a floor is really nice because then we have the sense of the space of the whole area. And I think that black hole idea is going to be really cool too. So really happy with what we got done today. There's, like I said, there's more to do, and we will do more in the future. But for this episode, that is going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, later.